Hello, we are live. Welcome to KP Law News, Arkansas. We got a good one tonight. Only about the second time I've gone live on this channel, so bear with us. I got a special guest on, Antonio. I'm gonna go check out his channel. He's got some crazy videos over there. It's over there, pinned in the top of the chat. So be sure you go there and subscribe. So Anthony or Antonio, I'm saying Anthony. Antonio, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Is that what you go by, Antonio, or
yeah.
okay? All right. So you live in Conway, Arkansas. That's not too far from my house. I live in Cabot.
Okay.
So
Bro.
I checked out your videos there. I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and seen some issues you were dealing with over there, which is crazy. But you're gonna tell an even better story after we cover all that stuff. So you wanna I got a couple of videos we can show. So you want to start from the very beginning about your ordeal there with the lovely Conway, Arkansas Police Department. I'm sorry.
You're fine. Well, situation started around June 25th. I had an issue with the mother of my son and one of her coworkers, and I ended up having to file a complaint against that. And that same evening, I ended up having to file another complaint for a separate reason. The following day, I went and picked up my son, and 2 hours after picking him up, I was arrested for what they told me at that time was uh, kidnapping, parental kidnapping.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of that video here if you want me to start playing it, and maybe you can talk about what's going on, where this is going on at. All right, let me see.
Okay.
Play. I'm gonna.
How y'all doing?
There we go.
Uh-oh. What are you doing down there?
This is the mother's house.
There you go. What?
So,
There we go.
it's an interesting situation since there's no paper, is this on speaker? Yeah. Hey, this is Officer McGarry, Conway Police Department. How you doing? I'm all right. Hey, what's your name? Antonio. What's going on,
This
man?
is your ex's house?
Not in any trouble right now. She just wants to know where her child is.
Well, I just picked up
Oh,
my
I'm gonna
child.
find it better.
And yesterday,
There we go.
I had to go to the police department, Howard Police Department, and found a terrorist threatening against her and one of the guys from her job.
Okay.
They took my life and threatening my kids. And
All right. Well, I'm not worried about that right now. Do you think you would? Do you have a problem with coming back over here so we all can talk?
Yes, I do.
Yes, as in you're not.
I say yes, I have a problem with it because.
All right. That's you on the phone there he's talking to, and that's the Conway Police?
Yes, he had called me from the mother's phone, cell phone.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's continue.
Last night, Ian had to call the police on her because she had my son in the hotel room with another man about to have sex. Okay. And I'm not going to allow my child to be, I've told her many times, you can drop my son off to me. You have your mama, you have your sister, you have your cousins that you can drop my son off to. You don't have to take him to hotel rooms to have sex, to let my son watch you have sex. Okay. So until we can get to a judge, I do not feel that my son's safety is okay with his mom. She is not looking out for his well-being, or his best interest is not being taken seriously.
Okay.
And I do not feel comfortable without. I feel like I would be abusing my child if I give him back to her, knowing that he's going to be subjected to watching his mama have sex.
All right. All right. I'm gonna let you go for now, but I may call you again to talk to you after I talk to my supervisor. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Went to my I got another officer coming that's more senior than me. But I
Or
have
just
dealt with
got a
this
rookie
before.
or something.
And it's easier when there's something in writing
They just
signed
don't know
by the
what they're doing.
judge. Because right now, I
Exactly.
can't physically take your child from him, and I can't take him
But this
from
is the
you.
kind of fact that
Y'all
he's
both have
saying.
equal rights
Hold
to
on.
it. Because right now, I can't physically take your child from him, and I can't take him from you. Y'all both have equal rights to him. Because right now, I can't physically take your child from him, and I can't take him.
How about that? Let me turn that down so we can hear you.
All right.
All right.
But yeah, what he's saying right now is what the law says. Now, they were supposed to, if they were going to do anything, they could have came and got the child and gave us, told us that we had to appear in court. This is a civil matter.
Right.
And I mean, that's clearly what the law says.
Right. So y'all haven't even been to court over that, any kind of custody, correct?
There's no custody agreement. There's nothing in place. And that's why the officer was telling her he can't take the child from me, just like he wouldn't be able to come and take the child from her. It would be
Right.
something that we would have to go to court and get an order on by the judge for them to be legally able to do something.
All right. All right.
Him from you.
Continue.
Y'all both have equal rights to him.
He ain't in good hands, dude. Drugs. He got a gun on him. He got a gun on him. Dude sell drugs. Antonio sell drugs. And he carry a gun. He carry a gun. And he carry a gun. He carry a gun. And he carry a gun. He carry a gun.
Wow.
Oh, y'all finna run, hey ya.
Who's
Oh,
this?
y'all finna run, hey ya. Talk about they can't do it
Now, when he-
to the court, but dude sell drugs.
Hey.
Oh, he came up in here starting to argue with me.
Now, this, I'm not sure.
Go ahead.
They were trying to build up anything to get them officers to be on their side.
Right.
So this is not something new that they've tried to use. I mean, it's just at this point, I don't know what their objective was.
Right. Who?
And she said, there she go walking out, and as I was walking out, there she go walking out, and as I was walking out, I was asking him, did my daughter say, I was asking him, did my daughter say that he could take him? That's what I was asking. He said, she can't tell me if I could take my son or not. He said, and I hope you told him goodbye. Man, I should. My mind told him to come over here. When I was okay, you know when got that baby if I was there.
What we got though is they don't have documentation. They don't have a custody agreement.
Conspiracy.
That's
At least they left his body cam on during this. Usually they shut them off or mute them when they're talking to each other.
Yeah.
We can't physically take the baby from him or her either way. I mean, it'd be pretty cut and dry if they had an agreement, because then all you'd have to do is just do an information report, interference with custody, and you go on about your business, because we can't, even if there was a paper or documentation, we still can't just go to him and take the baby. But since there's not, I don't know how to go beyond this, and I don't know if it defaults to birth certificate and on that, because a lot of times moms don't put their daddies on birth certificates. A lot of times moms don't put their baby daddies on birth certificates.
Wow.
So this is gonna be a learning experience for me.
They're just fishing for something.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Yeah.
So y'all don't have any custody agreement? Or are y'all just boyfriend and girlfriend?
We had broke up.
When she makes mention of me
That's just the,
being at the hotel in the night
Right.
prior.
It was the night before this happened. She was at the hotel with somebody else.
And my baby, yes.
Or, and the child. That's crazy.
how old's the child?
4 months.
4 months. Alright.
4 months.
So did somebody let him in, or he just come in?
I let him in because he kept knocking, and then he was peeping through the window because the blind was open.
Okay.
So I just let him in.
Okay.
I
She,
didn't know what he
And
was.
so
Is that a lie? Is
is
that
he?
true, or is that
Does
a?
that's,
the
I
baby
mean,
ever stay with him, or
that's the
y'all just
truth
broke
because
up?
she knew that I was
And
coming
the
to pick up
baby.
my son.
Yeah, and
Ah,
I called
so she knew all along you were coming to pick him up, and that
Yeah,
was
she
that
knew
was
that I was going to pick him up. They already had his stuff ready. Everything was ready for me to come and pick him up. And even when I got there,
ah.
she called the mother and asked the mother, was I supposed to be, like she didn't know already. And she told her yes. And she handed me the baby. I put the baby in the car seat. I strapped the baby in. I grabbed the baby's car bag. I mean, the diaper bag, and we left.
Damn. And this is your ex's mother.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
police on him last night.
Do what?
I said I had to call the police on him last night when I was in Little Rock.
When you were in Little Rock?
Yeah.
What happened then?
Me and my son was at the hotel, and he was texting me telling me, I'm at this hotel and I want you to come outside, and it was a lot. And then the police had to escort him.
Yeah. I thought he ain't got no license.
They still
In his name.
There's
That's
3
why
officers there
he
now.
sell drugs.
And it says
Yeah, there's 3
it
officers
says
Damn.
at this
Anthony
restaurant.
Charles is Anthony Sean. So I'm
He
pretty
probably
certain.
the
And there
same
were
one.
4 or 5 officers at my
That's where he
residence at
parked.
the
Did he
same
take a
time.
baby bag or anything?
Wow.
Yeah, he took his bag.
What's up, man? What's going on?
This is your
Yeah,
house,
good luck to
correct?
you, man.
Yeah, let me explain this to you before you
All right.
before the video. Before these officers arrived, these was the officers who were at the scene with the mother. Now, before these officers had arrived to my house, all of the officers that you see that were already there had already went through the text messages from us that morning, which showed that we had made plans that morning for me to pick up my son. And she said that she was going to drop him off at his mom's, and she told me what time he ate and to let her know when I drop him back off so that she can pick him back up. So when these officers came in, if you notice, I'm not in handcuffs, I'm not detained, I'm not,
Right.
there's no, me and the other officers, we had been laughing and joking until these officers walked in.
Oh, Lord.
And this officer, when they walked in, you'll see what happens then.
All right.
So, here's what's happening, okay, which I thought you were already in handcuffs. You're going to be charged with what we talked about, okay?
Wow, I'm not going to show that I had permission to pick up my son.
I already ran through the charges from the on-call tip. And like I said, it's the way you did, the way you went about doing it.
The way you did it.
Can I show you these messages?
I already saw.
What is he talking about?
I'm not sure what they got going on.
Go ahead.
Go and stand up, put your hand on your
Oh, Lord.
So now I'm being put
Can I
in
give
charge.
her my money so that she can buy
We'll
me
do
out?
that when you're in handcuffs.
Okay.
And this is where I'm okay, could I say this is the house that I'm at. This is not even my residence. This is the mother of my older kids. I have a um 19-year-old daughter there, 15-year-old daughter, and a 17-year-old son that lives in this house. And my other son, my baby son, was coming there with my sister so that we could all spend the day together. So this is not even my residence. This is the mother of my other kids' home. So
Right.
when I'm getting put in cuffs, I have one son that's in his room right now. He's going to come out eventually, and I'm going to tell him to go back in his room. And then later in the video, you'll see my 2 daughters and their friend come into the house.
All right.
All right, so you got the right to remain silent. Anything
Don't
you
make
say?
it anyway. Don't make it anyway.
No, that's my son. I told him to go back in the room.
All right.
seek an attorney before questioning. If you can't afford an attorney, one can be appointed to you at government expense. Do you
What's going
understand?
on?
Do you understand those rights?
Yeah, but what's going on?
Okay, are you willing to answer any questions?
No, I tell the officer here that I want an
Attorney
attorney.
present, do you understand those rights? Will you answer my questions?
I don't think so, because I don't know what's going on. I think I need to speak with an attorney or something.
There you go. Good job. Don't answer questions.
I have been uncertain.
Now he continues the questioning.
You have anything else on your phone?
No, I don't understand what's going on, man. I
You
have
figure out
permission.
what's going on.
I had permission to go pick up my son.
Just that 1 year ago?
Yes.
You wanted it to go to who?
She's back here.
She's back here.
What's going on, man?
I'm not sure. I really wish I could tell you, but I'm.
It's the manner in which you took your kid.
Huh?
It's the manner in which
It's
you
the
took
matter
your
in
kid.
which you took your kid.
You wouldn't tell us where you were. And he,
Oh,
I was there.
The guy that I keep turning to asking what's going on,
Yeah.
that's the officer that I filed the report with the day prior. So he had background knowledge of everything that had been going on. That's why I keep going to him, asking him, man, what's going on? And he's telling me, I don't know what these guys got going on. You know what I'm saying? He's confused. He's just as confused as I am. You can go ahead.
Yeah. They're saying it's the matter and where you picked it up. What law is that now?
There is none.
Hey, I know exactly. Okay, let's go.
There, I heard him explain it to you like twice. He had to find you.
I called the police station. I called the police station.
Conway?
Yes, that's how they all.
Yeah, after we had tried to get you to tell us where you were at, and so we could come talk to you.
So is that on the record that I called the police station?
Yeah. Before
So
it got to this point, we were trying to figure out where you were at, so we
okay,
Now,
but
basically, he's
I
saying
called
that
the
I'm
police
doing
station because I
because I
found
didn't
out.
tell them that.
What's that now?
I said basically he's saying that I'm going to jail because I did not tell them where I was at, which I had no legal requirement to tell them anything. I had not broken any law. There was no reason for me
Exactly.
to tell them where I was at.
Exactly. It's crazy. There's no custody agreement, no court order or anything, and we know where you're at, so you're under arrest. What
Yeah,
the
but
heck?
even if there was a custody or something, I have the right to protect my son if I feel like that he's in danger, and if I feel like
Exactly.
the mother is doing something that may cause harm to him or I have the right to protect him. So
Right.
they had no legal jurisdiction over this matter. I mean, this was a civil matter that they should have said, look, y'all need to be in court at the next appearance. And if they felt the need to remove the baby and give the baby back to the mother, that they had maybe had the right to do that, but they did not have the right to take me to jail.
Right. All right, let's continue.
Instead of y'all calling me back and telling me that there was an issue, I found out that the police was at someone else's house. And so I called to find out what was going on. Because I didn't nobody tell me. Last time we spoke, I figured you said you had to see I told you you could look at her messages and see that this was a conversation all morning, that I asked her, could I see the kid? She said, yes, I'm going to drop him off at my mom's house. You can go pick him up there. And I went and picked him up, and she said, well, call me back and tell me what time you drop him off so that I can pick him back up.
he said it's the manner in which you did that and how you took your kid from there. And
I
apparently,
had permission. I mean, I don't understand how I took it. Are you saying that I forcibly took him from the house or something?
we have a different story than what you.
From Alyssa? I mean, it doesn't even
The
matter.
grandma
The grandma said she didn't give me the child?
and a witness. No.
See, they don't even know
It's
what
the
to
way you
say.
took the child. That we have a witness saying how you did it, and the grandma also told us how it happened.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying. I don't understand right now.
The manner in which you took the kid from the grandma and what you said.
She handed me the kid, and I put the kid in his car seat and strapped him in and walked out the house.
That's
I mean,
not the
what's
story we had.
So their story is more
We're waiting on
credible.
them to get here. This might be them.
What's that?
I said, so their story was more credible than my story, even though I showed text messages showing that the conversation did happen that morning, and the officer was there who already had background of the situation because the complaint had been filed a day prior, and he also knew about the complaint that was filed later that night. So it makes no sense that their story was more believable than mine.
Right. Yeah. All right, let's go.
His sister has your child, and is that her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all got AC in here? Ooh. Ooh. Is that the child over there? Yeah. Okay. No, I'm giving the child back to the mom.
Call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 5-1-4-2.
Is his dad in there?
3.
Yeah, his dad's in there. No, you're not in trouble.
The mailbox is full. I cannot accept any messages.
But since I'm getting the child from you, I'm gonna squat down here real quick. I just need some information just to go on the report. You're his sister.
That's your sister there?
Yeah, that's my sister.
All right.
Now, hold on one second.
All right, hold on. I'm pause that. All right.
This officer that we're looking at right here is Officer McCormick, and this is the officer who took the complaint the day prior. Now, if you just look at, I mean, he's going to ask all the right questions. He's trying to figure out what's going on just as well as I was trying to figure out what's going on, because he knows that this is not an arrestable offense. I mean, there's been no crime committed, so he's confused.
He's confused. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's go.
He told us, even if the mom, Melissa's mom, was like, did she give you permission? And we were like, why would I need permission?
Yeah, so far.
And then she called Melissa, and Melissa said yeah, and...
Can I go see my brother?
Hold on one second. Let me get this AC over here. Your vehicle right now?
Now they're doing.
Baby boy, cute.
Now they're doing exactly what they said they couldn't do in the beginning of the video.
Well, before we wrap.
Yeah, they said they couldn't take the child from either one of you, but look what they're doing.
They're doing exactly what they just told each other, and so there's no. And the problem with this is when I did file a complaint, we're going to get to this later as well, but when I did file a complaint on this issue, the chief of police, after internal investigation, said that these officers handled this situation within policy, standards, and procedure. And if this is within policy, standards, and procedure, they are violating a lot of people's rights, not only the parent, but also the child's.
Yeah, well, we know what happens when the police investigate themselves.
Right.
We did nothing wrong.
Right.
Oh, all right, let's continue.
Wrap up, we'll explain to you, okay? So, this is where he's going.
In here?
Yeah.
What's up, LVC? Why the live stream? I was hoping you'd drop in.
Mom, you know how to hook this? Oh, it's got a base. Never mind. Awesome. Hey, little man. All right. Like that? There we go. All right, y'all just hold tight, okay? All right. So
and then Alyssa's mom called Alyssa.
Alyssa's
mom
called Alyssa.
Said, basically was like, okay, got confirmation, handed him the child.
That's what he said. Did you read that, or is that what he said?
That was like the in-person type of thing?
Okay, he said that the mom wasn't there. Grandma was holding the baby, and the baby.
Yeah, we just thought.
He
Yeah,
came in the house.
sure.
First of all, she let him in. He snatched the baby out of her hand and said, "I hope you say goodbye to him," and then left with the child. Is what the mom saying. The mother of the child.
Huh.
Yeah. And then we talked on the phone a couple times and telling us what it was.
If I'd have realized who it was, I could have called him because I took a report from him yesterday. He's cool with me.
There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah.
Like he showed me writing in here the text.
Okay.
Then I saw some yesterday too.
Yeah.
Apparently, he caught her cheating with someone else last night, and there's a Little Rock report on that.
They knew about all these reports.
All right, hold on.
This is I'm confused.
So I was just stating that he just mentioned the Little Rock report. So these officers, at least this officer, knows that there are 2 police reports since yesterday, within 24 hours, against the mother, and I'm being taken to jail for during this arrest, it was parental kidnapping. It ended up changing to custodial interference or something, which is still a Class C felony that I'm facing for this stuff.
But at this time, right here, in this point in the video, they still haven't really charged you with kidnapping or whatever, right? They just said it mattered where you took the child or something.
No, they've already put me in handcuffs, and he's told me at this point that I'm being arrested for parental kidnapping. So when I went to jail this day, I thought I was going for kidnapping my own son.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, let's continue.
Because I understood that we weren't going 15 minutes, so that's why we were just sitting and talking to him.
I'll go ahead and go 15 with him, and then we got here, and Chico said, "I thought you were in cuffs." I don't know.
I've never heard him say go 15. And I was trying to ask, but
and there's so many people at that other apartment. I mean, there's like kids running around, sisters, cousins, aunts. It's hard to, so I had to pull the mom and the grandma out, just talk to them just to separate them because they're loud.
What's up, Jason?
He said he had permission. There was text message. What happened at Grandma's residence and how it happened, how he took the kid.
Again,
all right, hold on. All right.
if you notice, this arresting officer, this is Officer Neil Holland, I believe. Neil Holland. He just mentioned that there was text messages. He saw all of the messages, so they knew that I had permission. They knew about the prior complaints and the complaints that I had filed with the Little Rock Police Department and the Conway Police Department. And so it makes absolutely no sense of why they're taking me to jail.
It doesn't. I don't know. All right, let's go.
That's why he's here.
No, they said I went over there, I knocked on the door, she opened the door and said, "Did Alyssa say you have a baby?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Why would she have to tell me I can have my baby?" And she called Alyssa and said, "Did you say he can have a baby?" Alyssa said, "Yes." She handed me the baby. I put the baby in the car seat, and she said, "You ain't shit either." And I said, "Did you tell him bye?" And walked out the door.
So we have a different story than that. So we have a different story than that.
And then he says they gave.
You got.
He says that they gave a different story, but they didn't give a different story. They gave the exact same story that I said. I mean, there was nothing different about what I said happened from what they said happened. So there were. I mean, it just makes no sense.
Oh man, did you make him mad in the past or something? Calling the police. You don't have to answer that. All right, let's continue.
Her information, you're right.
So y'all about to take him to jail
Yes.
for getting his son.
It's non-custodial kidnapping. There's no court hearing, no percent where the child was going.
But isn't he on the birth certificate?
Yes. Yes.
I just came in from out of town. I wanted to see my nephew.
Arkansas, the custody defaults to the mother.
There you go.
When there's no custody papers.
When there's no court order paperwork, custody defaults to the mother.
But we were not having a custody issue. There was no issue. This is like a setup.
Like I told you
Yeah.
earlier, the way he went about doing it, and if there was any conflict at all, when it was over there, if there was any kind of conflict, the way he went about doing it, you could have called us and did a civil standby, we could have figured it out.
There was no issue for me to.
That's not the story that we got.
She's doing this because I called the police on her yesterday, and I found that I told her that I had that. So now they're making up
Baby's back
false
with mom. Are they good to
report,
go?
and the police are going there, even though there's text messages showing that.
He walks out here and he daps the mom. Like he walks outside and daps the mom like they've done some great job or something. I don't understand.
Yeah. Look at me, I'm the hero.
Yeah.
I'm the hero policeman. Yeah. Ooh.
It's ridiculous.
All right, y'all good to go?
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Try to do something.
It's all right.
See you, little dude. You're welcome.
We didn't say that you were trying to, like at this time, you weren't trying to do it.
We're not looking at the facts.
But it's what happened when you took the child. We got two conflicting stories.
Okay, but you have to look
What
at
happened when you took the child?
But you're not looking at the time frame. If I took that, snatched that child, how could it not if it's an
They called to make
emergency,
a report.
abduction of a child?
They called to make a report, and we had no knowledge that it had been a long period of time or anything like that.
Okay,
The call came out that it just happened.
Let me show you. No, I'm finna show him something. I'm finna show him something.
Now this is when I show the officer the text messages again. The text messages he already knows exist.
Right. All right.
These messages right here show that I had, and look at the time, I had permission to go pick up my son and to let her know when I dropped him back off with his grandma. Now, from that time, I was gone 2 hours with my son. I had my son, and I would be bringing him back later.
I still didn't lay eyes on the child at that time. So, yes, there is an emergency there that we need to know that the child's okay. That's why I was trying to get you to tell me where you were at. Let's go.
Wow. Did you get all this body cam footage through the request? And all that?
Yes, I have more body cam footage, and I have some other evidence. And the problem with this is when they filed there, I will speak about it later. I'll try and get some pictures of it.
Right.
When we spoke about it, when we ended up going to the court, I had to have a separate attorney file a FOIA request from a different area. I mean, not even from here, in order to get stuff. And I didn't. Had I not done that, they had filed a probable cause statement with the court to get these charges filed that said that I snatched my kid, that I did not have permission to have him. They said that the mother said that I did not have permission to have him, and they said that the grandmother was distraught and all of this, they wrote a whole scenario, like everybody was upset and crying, and the baby had been kidnapped. I mean, but their probable cause statement they used to get these charges filed is totally opposite from the written statement of the accuser.
That's crazy. Crazy. All right, let's go.
Like I said, this has been talked to by supervisor and also all detectives and they can go with the charges. That's all your stuff because that's all your stuff that you have to show. Why is it not the officer's job to see if the crime is for real? It should be an officer's job.
I was here, I talked to him, so I'm still trying to piece together.
So people can just make false claims. I had the baby.
Did you go to the apartment to get the baby?
No, I didn't go to the apartment.
So he went to the apartment, got the baby, then he met you.
Yes.
It's the way he took the child and then wouldn't talk. I understand, but we were under
The
the
way-
impression that he had the child because he didn't
The way you took the child and wouldn't talk, that's crazy.
tell us otherwise. Wouldn't tell us where he was. All we wanted to do is see the child, talk to him, but his refusal to meet and go any further led this.
Your refusal to meet them, you hurt their feelings. That's what it is.
I mean, that
Meet with them. That's all it is. Hurt
Yeah,
feelings.
he just gave the gist of it right there. My refusal to meet them is what led to all this. But
Yeah.
I had no legal requirement to tell them
Right.
anything. I didn't even have to
Exactly.
keep talking to them over the phone. I mean, this was a civil matter. They were supposed to tell her, look, you have to take him to court. I mean, they should never
That's
have been
crazy.
with this far.
Exactly. That's crazy. All right.
And it may get knocked down to a civil matter, but this may not stick. So he's going to have his chance
But that's not fair because he called the police.
after the fact, though. Wait, like, we've been doing this for almost 3 hours now, so way after the fact, he called the police.
He'll be at Faulkner County Unit 2. He'll have a bond. And he can call somebody. And it's really big bonded out.
Maya just.
I know, it was what happened in the time frame when he got there, took the child, and then contacted you. So, I mean, you're not in trouble.
Every time I come down, I want to see Mommy. So when I talked to him this morning, he said he's going to get the baby around 1 o'clock. He called me at 1:10. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm about to go to Uncle Chuck's grave site. And he said, well, meet me up here at the country store. I picked up my nephew at the country store. I went to the barbershop. My other brother was at the barbershop. I went to the grave site, and then I went to my auntie's house.
Is that the store right off the interstate? And that was at 1:10. Like I said, told him everything he is saying, he can say that in court, and that'll be up to all that court whenever that court date on it, okay? But for the time being, and I told him, I called my supervisor. They said, and talked to the on-call detective, who we usually go through to get to what charges we need to make. Said, yes, go ahead and PC arrest him, probable cause arrest for non-custodial kidnapping. So that's where we're at.
Kidnap somebody, you're not telling somebody where you at, answer your damn phone, bring my baby to Conway. That's not kidnapping.
I don't think you're getting the whole picture out of everything that happened. It was that an argument had in their grandma's, and the way he took the baby from grandma is why we're doing it.
He's making up stuff, sounds
He was
like.
told at that time, no, he cannot take the baby, but yet he did it. And it was told at that time, no, he can take the baby, but yet he did it. And it was told at that time, no, he cannot take the baby.
No, that's the end of this video, but that statement right there, his very last statement that I was told at the end, that I was told that at that time that I could not take the baby. No one at the when he was at that residence, told that officer that they told me I could not take the baby. The grandmother told him that she called the mother, and the mother told her, yes, I could have the baby. And then when the mother was talked to the officer, she told the officer that she told him, yes, I could take the baby. So they sit here and lied in order to justify this arrest to my family in front of my kids, so that they didn't look bad. But this was something that should have been stopped by one of these officers. All of these officers had the duty to intervene. If they see my rights are being violated, if they see that I'm getting being harassed and arrested for no reason, these officers had the obligation to intervene in that. And all of them stood by, even the one that had the background of the story. And that upsets me because he was trying to do everything that he could to be on my side, but because of the power of this one bad officer, he could not do his job. So, I mean, that's why I've talked to so many people about how there's good officers and there's bad officers, but the good officers only exist if there's no bad officers on the scene. If there's one bad officer there, all of them have to be bad because they can't stand up to him. They of losing their own careers or whatever.
Right.
So if there's one bad officer, there is no good officers.
Right.
But
I agree.
his last statement right there is the sum of this video, it shows that this officer blatantly lied. He blatantly lied so that he could make this arrest and make it look good to my family, so that they would quit telling him he was wrong. But after the fact, after this arrest, we ended up in court. I ended up hiring an attorney on July 6th.
Hold on a sec. Let's finish this out and get into what happened after that. This one's about over right at the end of this video.
I need a report number or anything for this?
I think. Yeah, it's about over.
No.
I don't.
Okay. It'll be with his paperwork and stuff anyway. We're going to hear if he can call and he's ready to get on the guy.
So easy. There it is. That's all of that one.
So that is the end of, but like I said, this stuff did go into court. Right now, I have a felony warrant for this case because I did not go to the court appearance. But the reason that I did not go to the court appearance on September 26th is because I found out about this case on September 12th. And the next court appearance that was coming up was a pretrial hearing on September 26th. It made no sense to me because I had hired an attorney on July 6th, attorney out of Conway, Arkansas, named Lori Mason. I had hired her to handle this case. And from July 6th to September 12th, I was told that this case had not been filed. My attorney gave me my money back on July 22nd and said that the prosecution was not filing these charges. To give your money back. If something changes, you can come back in and pay me and we'll take the case. So
yeah.
On September 6th, I received a call from my bondsman and he was like, I received this letter saying that we missed a court appearance. Could you please get in contact with that attorney and see what's going on? So I contacted Lori Mason. There was a lot of back and forth calls that day, and she called the prosecutor. I was calling the bondsman back and forth. And the last call was from Lori Mason, and she informed me on September 6th that the prosecutor had just told her that the charges had not been filed yet. They were still waiting on information from Conway Police Department to file these charges. So that was on September 6th. So I continued checking the docket every day until September 12th. On September 12th, a lot of these the docket showed up on the record, and it showed that they had been having court since June 29th. And I had a failure to appear for a court appearance that I had not been notified about. Me or my what I thought was my attorney. And so on September 14th, I filed a motion to continue, a motion to preclude undisclosed evidence, a motion to dismiss for constitutional rights violations, and a notice of defendant's full exercise of rights. Because what I saw happening in this case was they had put it in as a CPD non-trial, and they were going to allow the prosecutor and the judge to rule on this case, a felony case, uh, without offering me any day in court, or without allowing me counsel, or allowing me to even see the evidence, because the evidence in this case showed that no crime had been committed. All of the crimes that had been committed against me. So they were hiding all of the evidence in this case. They did not know that I had a separate attorney outside of the attorney I hired, Lori Mason, to file the FOIA request. So they did not even know that Lori Mason did not even know that I had the videos and the written statement in this case. So when I filed my motions on September 14th, the prosecutor, Courtney Kennedy, on this case, filed amended complaint. So I filed a motion to suppress. 2 days. She filed an amended complaint on September 19th, and I filed a motion to suppress on September 22nd. I just looked on the records the other day, and Courtney Kennedy has filed another amended complaint on this case. I haven't had a chance to view it yet, but it amazes me how they're going to keep trying to pursue these charges when they know I have the videos and the written statement, which is totally opposite from what they use for probable cause. I mean, these are criminal actions. They have manufactured probable cause. They have denied me counsel. They have denied me due process. They have denied me a right to trial, jury trial. They have denied me my fundamental rights to protect my own son. And now they're trying to send me to prison without giving me a day in court. Or the court, if I do go to court now, we're already at pretrial hearings. The problem with that is, before, the first thing that's supposed to happen in a court case is plea and arraignment. And that's where you're formally charged with a crime. That's where you get to plead not guilty or guilty. I've not had a plea and arraignment. So how would we be going to a pretrial hearing when the court does not even know if I would like to plead guilty or not guilty? I mean, it's just, this case has reached so much criminal activity just off this one officer's actions, and so many people are involved now that it's become a fight for people's careers and people's lives just based off this one officer's action. And my need to know that I'm going to be protected, because had I not had this separate attorney file this FOIA request and get these videos and this written statement, they would have buried that evidence, and I would be in prison fighting on appeal on a Class C felony charge. And they also added a small habitual to this charge, which does not qualify for me. So my time would have been 15 to 20 years in prison just off of this case. And I'm
just
still
for going and picking up your son or your child.
to see my son. And I'm
That's
still
crazy.
dealing with this right now because I have a warrant right now. I mean, I have warrant right now for this case because they're refusing to drop the charges. And that makes no sense to me, because if you was having court without me about to sentence me, now that you know I have the evidence and I'm making it public, why would you not go and correct your own mistakes? Why would you keep trying to run it through the system in order to show? Because I'm not going to quit talking about it. It's my life that's on the line. So I have to make as many people aware of what's going on as possible in order to protect myself.
Yep. That's crazy.
But the situation where it stands right now is I do have a warrant, and I'm looking to file something in the state court and in the federal court to make the prosecution and the judge do what they are required to do, not only by law but by my constitutional rights. Because this was a civil matter, and they have turned it into a criminal matter, and they have done it all. They have done all of these things under the color of law. All of them would be doing this thinking that are assuming that they are protected by immunity for their actions, but nobody, the actions that they're taking are not legal. This is not within the scope of their job to manufacture and
Right,
fabricate
exactly.
or to violate due process or to violate people's fundamental rights. I mean, this is all turned into a mess, and it's all because of one officer's actions. But it just goes to show that it only takes one. It only takes one, and if that one is allowed to keep getting away with his stuff, he involves and he puts in jeopardy so many other people's careers, so many other people's livelihood and reputation, and even the integrity of it. So I mean, I don't know where we stand at, where I'm going to stand at in this. Whenever I have to deal with this situation, because I know that I have to have enough people involved in it for something good to happen to me, because they are in control when I go in that courtroom, and it's the same people who have been violating my rights. It's the same people who has been hiding this case, concealing this case, um, and it's the same people who have something to lose. So I have to make sure that I'm protected as much as I can.
Well, I hope just coming on here and get out a little bit.
Yeah, I have
Anyway,
to. I mean,
so
I feel like anything that as many people that I can get involved in it, listening to the story and seeing that. I mean, it's not about me. I'm not a saint. Um, I'm not like a role model citizen. I have made my mistakes. I've done stuff that I know I shouldn't have done, but this is about law. And if they are able to do this to any human being, regardless if they think they deserve it or not, then all of us are in jeopardy, because who's to say you're not
exactly.
next? Who's to say that you're always going to be in agreement with them, or with someone on their side, and it's not going to create a conflict where they say, I want to get rid of this person, so this is just about law. This is about what's right and what's wrong, and we can't you can't let me get their problem is beyond me. I don't even know what their issue is with me, because I don't create too many problems. I'm not I was when I was younger. I had problems when I was younger, but this I'm a grown man.
But didn't we all?
Yeah, I'm a grown man and I have my own kids. Like, y'all just took me to jail in
Yeah.
front of my kids because I was trying to protect my kid. I mean, it makes no sense.
I don't know, man. Uh, so you've been out, and are you still waiting to go to court on this? Is that what? Or they just haven't had anything? You just don't
No,
know yet.
they're having they just had a court date on
Wi-
had a
Without you
hearing.
being there or knowing, without you knowing about it.
Yes, I mean all of the court
That's crazy.
dates. They have not sent me any notice for any court dates because they have my address. And I have not received anything. And the attorney that I had on the case never received anything. If you look on my Facebook, Gambino, Gambino Ausler, Ausler, all of the documentations is there. I mean, even the documentation from the attorney on July 22nd notifying me that the prosecution has not filed these charges yet. And I mean, everything is there. All of the documentation, everything that I'm saying is documented.
All right. So since you got out of jail after that first incident, Have they, the Conway police themselves, have they been kind of messing with you, harassing you and everything? I got
I've been harassed for 2 counties over. Like it's they have it in for me because they know that they know that they've messed up. I mean, this is not it was a simple civil matter that has turned into um people people on their side creating being involved in criminal activities. I mean, the things that they're doing to try and get these charges, this is criminal. It's not
right.
just so it's stepped into a different area, and that they feel like they have to protect their own. That's what this is what the thin blue line. This is what we deal with.
Yeah.
So
Thin blue line.
so this
I'm
is
just, I'm just this next video about the car search. Did that happen after or while all this is going on, or
that
is this
happened. That happened a week, almost a week after I went to jail.
all right? All right, we're gonna play that, and then we're gonna play the other one after that. Or hold on, let me get that. Not me. There we go.
Okay.
Now, now, what was it? Did they pull you over for something?
Um, actually, this night I was coming from one of my friend's house, and I was on it's Highway 64, and it's between Plummerville and Marlton in Conway County, Arkansas. So I was coming down 64, and I could see a vehicle sitting about 6 or 7 miles down the road. I could see the lights because it was at nighttime.
Right.
And this vehicle sit there until I went by it. And as soon as I went by it, they pulled out behind me. And I knew who vehicle it was. It's one of the well-known police here who has he has it out for a lot of the African American community, the black men
Right.
here.
Right.
So I knew it's an unmarked vehicle. And so I knew who it was when as soon as I went by him. And he jumped in right behind me, and he followed me into Marlton, and he ended up turning on his lights and pulling me over. And he said that I swerved or something. I don't remember what his exact reasoning for was pulling me over. But I never swerved. I mean, I knew who he was. I knew who was behind me, so I wouldn't give him a reason to pull me over. But
Right.
anyway, he pulled me over, and by the time he did that, 2 or 3 sheriffs and 2 city police pulled up with him. So by the time I got out the vehicle, which he made me get out, he didn't say he smelled anything. He didn't say that I mean, there was no reason for them to be inside my vehicle or to pull me out the vehicle.
Right.
But as soon as I pulled over, all of the officers were there. So I ended up getting out the vehicle and I started recording. And then, as you heard in the video, they told me to stop recording. You don't need to record. He's got a body cam, and I stopped, but then immediately started back recording.
Yeah. I just go ahead and play this. This is crazy.
Yeah.
What is it? What is it? Huh?
So, do you think they were trying to plant something?
Now these officers, I wouldn't put it past them, and the situation that they're going through, that makes me even more. I think they would do it, and it wouldn't be something that I would see them beyond doing, being not doing. But the reason why this officer was staying right there in that one spot so long, and I felt like he was watching me, and I couldn't understand why he was watching me. So that's why I kept moving in to see what he was doing.
All right. I don't blame you. All right, here we go.
What do you say? What is it?
Oh, we looking?
Oh, I thought you said you saw something.
You called somebody to come out there.
Yeah, I had somebody. I had my mother standing. She pulled up.
All right. Good deal. Fall back to the truck.
God damn.
What the hell?
Yeah.
God damn.
Jesus. Why did he break the?
Now, for some reason, he felt the need to tear my console up out of its framing. I wasn't sure what he was looking for in there. I don't know. I don't know what he was doing.
Damn.
Ain't nothing in my truck, man. Ain't nothing in my truck. You can't put that.
Jesus.
Get the insurance.
Oh no, they still sent the picture yet. No, they haven't sent the picture yet.
Get a hold of them so get it.
Now, after they finished tearing up the car and going through, and as you notice, they never went to the back seat of the vehicle. They went to the very back and the front area of the car. And after they got through doing that, they didn't find anything. There was nothing in my truck. They ended up letting me go. But that, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I feel
It
like
is.
they would have like set me up. Like at that time, I don't even, if you look at the court records, and this is weird too, because this is like a week after I bonded out of jail. And if you look at the records, it shows that I had a warrant at this time from the Conway incident. I mean, from my son incident. So
Right.
they didn't, I mean, I didn't understand it. I don't know what they were doing. It just didn't feel right. I mean, I feel like they were going to set me up that night had my mom not pulled up.
Yep. You never know. And this next one is funny. I think it's kind of funny. You know the one I'm talking about, don't you? Is this with Conway Police or is it with the county sheriff or
Conway County.
Conway County?
Yeah.
All right, this is funny to me. Hold on. All right, here we go. Are you on your brothers or something? Well, he's been following you for a while and decided to pull over, see if you pull over. That's why he's. That's funny. Hey, hold on.
He kept switching. I mean, we were on the highway, and this officer, when I passed him, he had his spotlight on, so he saw my vehicle, and they obviously my vehicle. They know my vehicle now, but he jumped in behind me, and I had switched lanes twice to allow him to go on by, and he just switched lanes with me, just kept
Yeah.
behind me.
Was this on 40?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
But this This is on 40, but this was a Conway County sheriff that was.
Right. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Why did you step out of the vehicle?
Because I pulled over for you. You didn't pull me over.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is everything okay?
No, that's why I was trying to figure out why you following me. I've been recording you since you pulled out.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out why I pulled you over. So why are you following me?
You pulled me over.
I pulled over and then you turned on your lights. No, you're not. I didn't need you to. I was trying to check on your welfare because you're following me.
I'm not following anybody.
So are we done? Are we done? Are we done here?
At this point, no.
He's
I need
busted.
to know who
That's
you
what
are.
it was.
For what? I pulled you over.
Because I have to know who I'm out with.
No, you do
Yes,
not.
I do.
I pulled
No,
you
you don't.
over, officer.
If you don't have any blue lights, you can't pull me over.
If I pull over and then you pull over with me, I'm pulling you over. You didn't have on blue lights when I pulled over.
No, I didn't.
I know. So
And
then
so I'm
you're
going-
checking on my welfare. I'm
I am,
fine.
And I have to log who I'm out with.
I'm fine. You don't. I'm
I have to
fine.
log who I'm out with.
No, I'm
Yes,
fine.
No,
yes,
you
I
don't.
do. I have to log who I'm out with.
No, I'm fine. You read the tags, right?
I did run the tags. Yes.
Okay, then are the tags good? Is there insurance on the vehicle?
That I don't know.
Well, you didn't run it?
I run the tag.
What's
yeah.
your name?
Taylor Doobie.
Taylor Doobie.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
All right,
what
hold
do
on. I
you need
gotta
from me now,
stop this
Taylor
for a
Doobie?
second. All right. Deputy Taylor Doobie, right? Deputy
Yes,
Doobie.
definitely.
Deputy Doobie. You can't make this stuff up.
I
That's
know.
the funniest name out. Taylor Doobie. All
Yeah,
right, let's
and
go.
then,
All right.
I need your ID.
I don't have one on me. My name is on the tags.
Nope.
So my name is on the tags.
You don't have an ID on you.
No, I do not. I'm taking somebody to work.
Okay, you don't have a driver's license on you?
No, I don't have anything. Did you run those tags?
I did.
Okay, then. So the name is on those tags, and you see that I am fine.
Okay.
So what do we need now?
I just have to log. I gotta run you through dispatch and log that I'm out with you.
What? Why? Because you checking on my welfare?
Yeah. I mean, that's part of my policy that I'm supposed to do. When I get out with somebody, I log who I'm out with.
Policy, not
So
law.
that way it's in our file, so if something
That's his
happens,
policy.
everything is on the file through my dispatch.
Okay.
Dispatch I'm temporary.
So what are we waiting on? I'm not giving you my name. My name is on the tags.
Your name is on the tag?
Yes. So did you run the tags?
Dispatch, go ahead. I did run the tags, yes, sir.
Okay, then. So what are we doing?
Huh?
So what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
I mean, right now, you got out of the vehicle.
I pulled over because you were following me.
No.
there is a second part to that video. I'm gonna have to get it. But at the end result was that I didn't get any tickets. There was the person in the vehicle with me ended up having a warrant, but they served them their warrant on the side of the road. So it turned into this welfare check, I guess, turned into a traffic stop because I would not give him my ID.
That's crazy. That's funny. Taylor, Deputy Doobie.
Deputy. Yep. So right now I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with these situations, and I still have a situation out of Texas. Like a discrimination case that I filed in December of 2019.
Wow.
They brought on the Attorney General's office to represent the private citizens in a discrimination case. It's like all of the cases that I fought in my life, I've only fought attorney generals. Like I quit using attorneys because I saw that even when you even when you pay an attorney, they still work for them. They still are bound to the American Bar Association. They still have
Right.
requirements that and there's still things that they cannot do against one another. You know what I'm saying? If I go in
Right.
there and I know that this prosecutor is violating my rights and she's even done something criminal that could send her to jail, my attorney is not going to go after that prosecutor in a way that may send them to jail, even though they might.
Exactly.
So I stopped using attorneys and started representing myself. And what I found is like all of the cases that I've ever fought since, and I've been fighting these cases since, for about 15 years now. I've only fought attorney generals. They don't give me regular attorneys to fight because I'll destroy them. I'll make them criminals because they all have to do something criminal in my cases to get the results that they want. None of my
Exactly.
cases, if you go back and go through any of my cases, none of them have been handled in within law. There's something in all of those cases that will send either a prosecutor, a cop, a judge, or somebody to jail. So that's why when I'm fighting these cases, it's only attorney generals that they send at me because they need the protection of the state, and then when they get the protection of the state, they also have the protection of the judge. So right now, I'm surprised that Courtney Kennedy is still on this case. I'm not sure how Leslie Rutledge has not made an appearance yet. I'm waiting on her to appear though.
Yeah. So I think you was telling me earlier on the phone that something new has came up here recently. That's something
Oh
happened to
yeah.
you. I don't know if you want to get into that or.
I think I better save that story for another time.
All right.
I'm going to send you the videos of the situation, and I'll let you. It'd probably be a better show if we did that separate.
You want? We can do this again sometime. Well,
Yeah.
if I go back on the road, I don't know. It'll be kind of hard to set up a certain time, but
Well,
uh,
you just set a time. We'll make it happen.
all right, that'll work. We'll do it again. This is man, that's a crazy story. I feel for you, man. Of course,
Well, yeah.
I'm
Well,
not
it's
from Arkansas. I just been living in Arkansas, I don't know, 10, 12 years. And I found out that I don't care, deputy sheriffs, especially any county in Arkansas, these sheriffs and deputies are just ornery and they don't
yeah,
care. Good old boy
yeah,
system.
yeah.
And some of the police departments, now, Cabot police, they're not too bad. But
Yeah.
Conway, I seen you're having issues with those people. And oh, man.
Well, it just
Hang
needs to
up.
be.
Oh, go
There
ahead.
needs to be some kind of legislation passed where you can't work as a police officer or in the judicial system within 100 or 200 miles from where you were born or raised, because what ends up happening is we have these families, friends, and all these people that come up, and they all have the same enemies. Like if your family has this family and you're in law enforcement, you don't stop hating that family because you're in law enforcement. I mean, that just goes on and on and on. So there has to be some legislation passed where you you cannot work in law enforcement or in the judicial courts or probation, juvenile probation within 100 or 200 miles from where you grew up, because it creates too much conflict. It creates too much
Right.
bias. It creates too much favoritism. Um, and that's a big part of what we have to deal with in these police stations and courts.
Yeah, they're crazy. Crazy stuff, man. Yeah, the sheriff, the sheriff we have in Lonoke County, he was up for election last or this past year, and the sheriff that the guy was running against him, what was his name? Graham, is the
Mm,
son of I think he's a county attorney. So
it's
I said,
crazy.
well, he's nobody likes the sheriff we have now, Staley. Well, some people do. He did get reelected, but to have the sheriff and the county attorney, father and son,
That's
that
dangerous.
that may have been crazy, but he didn't get elected. Sheriff Staley got elected after all that controversy he went through with the shooting of Hunter Britton. He went through all that, fired that
Right,
deputy Davis, and that stuff with the hitting the inmate on camera and then denying it, but he was busted. And then a couple of inmates dying under his custody in the jail, and they're not doing anything about it.
right.
He's got all kinds. Supposedly he's under investigation, but none of the investigations seem to go anywhere. But I
Mm.
don't know. So yeah, they're
Well, yeah.
crazy in Arkansas, man. I swear.
Oh, yeah. It's just a good old boy system, and they're all family.
Exactly.
It's traditional stuff going on. And until we start, the people that's going through it start speaking up and just showing it. I mean, like my case is that's why I put all of the information on Facebook, YouTube, and all of the places I put it because this is blatant. I mean, it's not anything hidden here. Everything that's happening is wide open. Anybody can see it, and if they can do it this openly, then what are they doing that we can't see?
Exactly. I think you're a danger to them
Of
because
course,
for one, you're a black man, right? You
right,
know your rights. You know the
right,
Constitution.
right.
That's scary to them because they don't
Yeah,
want people to know their rights, the Constitution.
right. I mean, because it interferes with what they got going on. Like if it wouldn't be a problem if everybody was as good as people want to portray that they are. Then, I mean, at some point people are going to have to acknowledge that they're not all good, and the ones that are bad, if they're not taken, if they're not removed from the situation, then it creates a situation where they're all bad, because you can't have five good officers on one scene and then one bad officer, because they all have to do what that one bad officer is going to allow to happen.
That's right. Say a good officer just stands by and sees a bad officer being bad, making a bad
Right,
arrest or whatever, and he don't say anything. He's no better than the bad officer.
right.
He's not a good officer, like you said.
And what would have happened had I refused this arrest or resisted this arrest, because I knew that they were violating my rights. They weren't going to just say, "Okay, we're not going to arrest them." They was going to kick. They were going to do what they needed to do to get me in those cuffs and in that jail. So I ran a risk. There's a guy in Little Rock, T. Caffey. He just lost his life at the movie theaters in Little Rock this year, um, because of excessive force and them denying him medical treatment. So what's to
Yeah, I
say
heard
that
about that.
resisted this arrest? That wouldn't have been me.
Oh, yeah,
And I
great.
had every, and I had every right to resist it because I knew it was a civil matter, and I knew that I had not done anything to break a law. So if I had resisted the arrest, I had the right to do that. But also, and knowing in my mind that if I resist this arrest, they are going to hurt me.
Oh,
They're
yeah, definitely.
going to hurt me right here in my kid's house. They're going to hurt me when I get to this jail.
Yep. It would have hurt you for sure. It beat the
Yeah,
heck out of you, or maybe even worse.
right, right.
Never know. Let me
So I
kind
mean,
of let me kind of leery of Conway Police Department because I follow a lot of the police departments on my KP Law News Arkansas Facebook page just to see what they're up to and make a snide comment once in a while. But they had that Special Olympics run there a few weeks ago
right, right,
with the Conway
right.
Arkansas Police leading them.
Yeah,
And the dude, the cop, I don't know who he was, but he was in front of everybody getting ready to run. Instead of holding the American flag like he should have, he was holding a blue line flag.
yeah.
I
Because
said, "You scum! That's crazy." How that, I said,
that blue line means more to them. That blue line is the police's flag. They are not, they're more under that blue line than they are the American flag. They have separated
"Yeah,
themselves into
Yes,
their own group. They're not looking at themselves as Americans anymore. They are a gang, the Blue Line Gang.
exactly.
So that, and I made a few years back, I made a change.org trying to bring awareness to that, saying that we need to take away that blue line. Police should not be able to represent this, because it's becoming, that means more to them than the American flag. You don't really see them, even when they do the American flag, they put it all black, white, and blue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
So
not
I don't
only
know.
that, not only that, it's against the flag code to desecrate the flag in any manner. So
Right,
they're violating one of the flag code just by doing that.
right,
If you want
right,
your own flag, make your own stupid flag
right,
and don't desecrate the American flag that so many veterans have died for
right.
in the past. So it's slap in the face to veterans, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, because they don't care about the veterans. I mean, they'll mess them up just as much as they'll mess up any other American who's not wearing that patch with the blue line on it.
Yeah,
It's not about the American flag anymore. It's not about our constitutional rights. It's not about who's even right or wrong. It's just about what they feel.
exactly. Yep. Well, man, I guess I'll let you get off here. You've been out here almost an hour and a half, so I enjoyed it.
All right, I did
We had
too,
a
man.
good time, and I was glad to get the story out there because, man, that's messed up.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you
Yeah.
contacted me. And I'm going to send you the other videos and see if you would like to do something on that a little later. But I want to make sure that
All
I
right.
get that here before I let that go.
All right, man.
All right, I appreciate it. Tonio
All right.
Ausler on
Yep.
YouTube and
Yep.
Gambino Ausler on Facebook for all of the documentation and the videos. I just hope that I can get enough people on board to show them what I'm dealing with, and not only what I'm dealing with, how so many wrongful convictions are made. I mean, this is how they do it. If you want to see it, come look.
Yep. Y'all go subscribe to this channel. Should
All
be a
right,
link at the top of the chat. So, all right, man. I appreciate it.
all right.
Keep
Have a
in
good night.
touch. Keep in touch and keep me updated on things.
Yes, sir. I
All right,
got you.
man.
Have a good night.
All right, man. Have a
All
good
right.
one. Thanks. All right, there goes Antonio. Man, that was crazy story. Good old Conway, Arkansas, right up the road in my state. I need to keep an eye on Conway, Arkansas, see what's going on up there. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, he's getting man. Mm-mm-mm. So, if anybody that's still watching, if you can share this out, I would appreciate it. And go subscribe to Antonio's channel, and we're going to try to keep update on this. If he comes up with any more information, other videos or something he's got going on, maybe we'll do this again. And I had a good time. I enjoyed it. So, all right, I appreciate everybody watching. Everybody have a good evening. KP Law News, Arkansas. Out.